It's okay. So today I'm just going to summarize all over again, and then please complete your week 2 in your Coursera, and today you are going to complete week 3 lah. Okay. So for lecture 3, this is about attitudes and job satisfaction. Hmm. All right. Okay. So as we know that when we are okay, before that I patah balik belakang sikit. Okay, so organization behavior is the study about all your human behavior in the workplace when we work together. So we would like to understand people more, and when we understand people more, it will be easier to work together to understand that why this happened, why do people react this way. So actually, for organizational behavior, is beneficial for both employee and also employers part lah, right? So one of the things that we should know in organization or working together is attitude. Okay, about our attitude. Each and every one of us, we have our own attitude. Some good, some bad. Okay, some can be improved. And then some like to work alone, some like to work in group. So all those kind of attitude, perception, and so on. Right. It's very important for us to learn about this so that we can know how to interact better with people, and then it's it helps you to learn as well what are your roles, okay, as employee, as an employer. So what are the role that you have to play, and then if people giving you some reaction or response, then you will understand better lah why it happens. Okay, so the definition of attitude is a tendency to respond in it's either favorable or unfavorable way to person or object in one's environment. Okay, so that is a definition of attitude. It's like a response when things happen to us, and then we respond lah, well, accordingly. Different people, they have different attitude and then different response as well. And let's take a look at what are the things that actually impact the attitude. Okay, so these are the factors influencing attitude formation. So it can be based on experience. It depends, right? Maybe you have a previous experience that lead you to behave in certain way, right? And you learn from it. Okay, you learn from your experience, maybe from childhood, maybe the way that your upbringing. Okay, you saw parents, people around you, and then maybe when you first join a company, you learn from your seniors, and then you take a look at your surrounding. Okay, when you observe people in the environment. So these are the factors that influence your attitude formation. Okay, social roles and norms. It depends on where you grow up, what kind of environment that you live in. All right, classical and operant conditioning means that the thing that you saw, the things that you hear, and so on. Okay. However, I'm not saying that or because of these factors. Let's say if you have a bad attitude, then you blame it on all these factors. Actually, no lah. When you are in a workplace, you have to present the best attitude, and then so that it will be easier for people to work together with you. All right, you have to be. After all, it come back to professionalism. So you have to demonstrate a good attitude in the workplace. Everything will be related, right? Your work, apa orang panggil tu, promotion ke, your career advancement, and then the conflict, the work environment, everything will be related ataupun affected by the way that we respond in certain way. Okay, so example, when we say like when we say we like something or dislike something, we are in effect expressing an attitude towards that person or an object. Means that if we like a person, then we have it will lead to our behavior. Okay, so attitudes will impact our behavior later, right? So when we understand all these attitudes, mood in the workplace, we can, how to say, it will reflect our behavior. Let's say if we like our job, so definitely um, we will do our job more proactively, more efficiently, compared to if we have an attitude like we don't like our job, so we tend to do it, not as good as we can, okay, not as productive as we can be. All right. So in explaining attitudes, is actually we refer back to ABC theory. Okay, ABC theory, which is affective, behavioral, and cognitive. Okay, there are three components in this theory. The first one is affective component. So for a affective component, okay, I think boring dengan I cakap kan. So how about how many of you have listened to the recording, and then can any one of you tell me what is affective component? Ada sesiapa nak cuba, or you like to hear me speaking all the time? Hello, anyone here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ada.
ada.
Waiting
Ada.
to listen to your speak better.
Continue, Miss Zuria. I
Yes,
think we
please.
miss your voice.
You don't what?
I think we miss your voice for 1 week.
Ah, banyak lah. Okay, tak apalah. Okay lah, I continue lah. But if you want to if you want to say something, just switch on your mic and then I share with the rest of the class, okay?
Sure. No problem.
Okay, so ABC theory. Under ABC theory, the first one is affective component. So for affective component, this one referring to your emotional part, your feelings. Most of it is your feelings. Alright. I will open. Kejap macam mana? I nak share sekejap ya. Let me. Okay. So boleh nampak ABC. ABC theory. So the first one we call as affective. So this refers to the feelings. How do we feel about something, and then this includes emotion as well. Okay, falling emotions, and then we take a look at the behavioral. So behavioral is referring to how we react. Okay, the reaction, the response based on the feelings that we have. So we have this behavioral component lah, behavioral that it results from the attitude just now that we have learned. Okay, behavior is affected by the attitude that we have, and then with this attitude, we will react in a certain way. And then after that, we have a cognitive component. So cognitive component is the way that we, in terms of belief, okay, and then in terms of the perceptions that we have, in terms of the apa orang panggil, like mental. Okay. Okay, so I will give you an example how this ABC theory actually reflected in the workplace. Okay, contohnya dekat sini, if affected example. you are happy at the workplace. Okay, you are happy at the workplace. This is your feelings, your emotion. You are happy, you feel content, you feel satisfied, um, and then you feel happy, everything lah. Okay, harmony. This is what you feel, the emotions that you have when you come to work every day. You feel happy, you feel really want to contribute. Okay, so if you feel happy, then the behavior here is you will complete your job efficiently, can, because you feel happy, so you buat kerja efficiently, and then you maybe become a helpful to other people. Okay, and then you show the behavior, right? So you show strong teamwork. So that is the example lah when you are happy. So cognitive belief perception. So you think that if you do all this, if you complete your job efficiently, and then you show strong teamwork, so you believe that you have a bright future dekat company, ataupun you believe that you have job security. Okay, means that your job are safe here, you can get promotion, and then all those things lah. Okay. And then as well as you feel, okay, you have a perception, if I do better, no, if any work give if I get any work, so I have to be proactive. Okay, means that I have to start working on it as soon as I got my hands on it, for example, like that. Okay, so this is the ABC theory that we should learn lah in organizational behavior. All right. Okay. So we have several types of attitude. We have job satisfaction, job involvement, organizational commitment, and then we have POS, or perceived organizational support, and also employee engagement. So in terms of job satisfaction, this one is the feelings that you have. Okay, whether it's positive, it can be a positive ataupun negative feeling that you have towards your job. Okay, job satisfaction. So I'm not going to ask you here. You have to ask yourself whether you are satisfied with your job or not. Okay, if you are satisfied with your job, then that's great. Okay, I really hope that you are satisfied with your job. But we cannot get it all, right? We cannot get it all. We cannot get, I mean, if you get it all, then you are a very lucky person. But most of us, we didn't get everything, right? For example, maybe you can get a good pay, but you have to travel quite far to go to your job. Or maybe your house is just like 5 minutes away from your workplace, and then but the pay is lower, ataupun the job is very near to your house but the management is very very strict, not cooperating and so on, or the work environment there is not welcoming. So you cannot get it all, but if you can get it all, then like I've mentioned to you lah, you are a very lucky person. And if you have job dissatisfaction, we are going to take a look at later what are the 4 things that we can do when we have this satisfaction. Okay, this is based on research like what people normally do. For job involvement, this one is identifying with the job and actively participating in it. Okay, considering performance important to self-worth, means that the way that you see your job, you have to complete it just because you think that it's going to be beneficial for you. So you do your job, you're involved with your job more. Organizational commitment. So for organization commitment is more than job involvement. All right, you recognize what are the organization goal, and then you work hard, you show, you display a you display a very good professionalism to it. You are the one who will be the first one who step in to do the job, and then you make sure that the company can reach its target. senang cerita in bahasa like you sangat-sangat sayangkan company you lah kan, you were very committed to your company. So take a look at yourself whether you are here or not. Okay, so we have and then in terms of organization commitment, kenapa you buat semua tu? Why did you do all that? Because you wanted to maintain the membership in the organization, means that you want to stay. You believe that this organization can become a good place for you. That's why you stay committed with the company, hoping that the company will stay, not will stay, will grant you the same response as well, right? For example, like keep on promoting you, give you an increment, and so on. So we have several types, which is effective, normative, continuance, and continuance commitment. Okay, so let me just copy and paste dulu. So effective. So for effective commitment, this refer to based on emotional attachment. Okay. And then for normative, this will be based on sense of obligation. This one is based on the perceive how to say perceive cost. If you leave the company, okay. All right. So for effective commitment, right? Why you commit with the company? Because you have emotional attachment to the company, right? Maybe you feel like this company is good, and then you feel like you are genuinely happy be part of the family, if family, but be part of the organization. So this one is it can build your organizational citizenship behavior. Okay. Before that, I forgot to tell you the chapters that we are going to learn today, daripada chapter 3, 4, and 5, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a very famous topic for your thesis later. You are required to do a research report later. And then for this chapter, attitudes, behavior, um, organizational commitment, employee engagement. So these are a very good topic for you to discover for your thesis later. Okay, just take note anywhere lah. You can use this topic later if you are into management topic and organizational behavior topic. Okay, so come back to this. For effective commitment, this is based on your emotional, means that you feel good about the company, you feel enjoy, and then you also feel like you have a sense of belonging in the company. If you remember, ataupun if you have learned previously a motivation theory, we have 5 needs that we have to complete, right? Psychological needs, self-esteem, and then security, and so on. So one of it is a sense of belonging. When we join a workplace, we want to feel that we are a part of organization. So how to feel we are a part of organization means that when the organization involve us more, when they want to make decision, they ask us about input, and they ask about us the challenges that we have, the things that will be helpful in our work tasks and everything. Okay, and then they also ask about our well-being. They ask about our mental health in the workplace. They send us training and so on. So we will feel like we are a part of that company ataupun a part of the organization. And then, of course, if we have an effective commitment, we feel like happy working in the company. So the next one is normative commitment. So for normative commitment, this one is arise from the sense of obligation, because when you work, you feel that this is your role, this is your obligation, this is your responsibility. So you stay committed because you feel like this is something that is um, ethically ataupun morally, you feel like you are obligated to do all of this. Dia lebih kepada it is more towards on your responsibility lah. Okay, your responsibility as an employee. So this is not about the feelings when you are happy. You committed, you do all the job because that's your job. Even though maybe if you are dissatisfied in the workplace, but you still maintain to do all your job, so means that you have a normative commitment. So next one is a continuance commitment. Continuance commitment ni slightly dangerous, slightly dangerous for an employee if they don't feel genuinely happy working in the workplace, but they have a continuance commitment, means that they work in the company because they afraid that when they leave the company, they have to bear a lot of costs. They have to bear a lot of costs, and then they don't want to go all over again. Like you have to pergi interview, you have to go to interview, you have to search for a new job, you have to learn new things, and so on. So one of the reason why you stay committed with your job because you don't want to have this perceived cost. Okay, bukan it doesn't have to be like a monetary cost, but feelings cost as well. Macam tu lah, you don't want to learn new things, you don't want to and then maybe you feel like you will lose if you leave this company, you will lose all the seniority in this company. Maybe who knows, next year I will be promoted ke. So if you leave the company, then you have no you have to let go all these things lah. Okay, in terms of seniority, in terms of all the benefit. So that one is continuous commitment. People stay in the company, they become committed to the company because simply they are afraid to go to, and then they will lose all this benefit. Okay. All right. And then perceive organizational support. So this one is the degree to which employees feel the organization cares about their well-being, like I've mentioned just now. Okay, if you are a manager, if you are an employer, so I encourage you to do this to your subordinates, to your employees as well. Ask about their well-being. Okay, just ask whether you are really care about them or not, but you have to show to them that you give a certain organizational support. If you can genuinely do it, then I am more than happy. And it is should be like that lah. Okay, you have to genuinely ask, but if you cannot do that, but at least you have to ask them, okay, about how they feel about them working with the company, so that they will feel this. Remember that all of this is actually will be related to job satisfaction. I think that you guys understand as well. You guys are working adult, so definitely we want company who at least listen to us, at least care about us, feel like we are not a liability, we are asset. And then for companies as well, and I believe that you want to retain good employees, you want to make them happy working in your workplace, because everything is related. When they happy, okay, feelings, right? Just now, feelings, they happy, and then it will contribute to their behavior. Whether we like it or not, we are human, and that's how we um that's program. That's how we are programmed, based on the feelings. But again, nanti um we are going to learn about emotions that we have, and then the different emotions that we display. Okay, that one we call as role conflict, ataupun emotional dissonance. Employee engagement. So this one, the involvement and satisfaction with the enthusiasm of the organization. Okay. Causes of job satisfaction. Okay. So for job satisfaction, one of the causes of job satisfaction definitely is your reward. Okay, one of it is pay, pay ataupun reward lah, benefits. So all can 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 impact your job satisfaction. And another thing is your personality, okay, personality and others' personality as well. Negative people are usually not satisfied with their job. So if you, um, I think I'm not sure. Try to reflect back, but I have met several people who is very negative. It doesn't it doesn't matter what we give to them. There is always something bad for them to look at. Okay, so all these kind of negative influences ataupun negative feelings that you have might influence your job satisfaction. Okay, so in working experience, maybe we have to open up to both the positive feelings and the negative feelings as well. I'm not saying that we have to be positive all the time. Sometimes we have to be feel negative because we have to take care of ourselves. We have to predict the worst thing that can happen, but not overthinking. Okay, not overthinking lah. um, so these negative people, okay, our own personality ataupun the personality of our surroundings can lead to job satisfaction. Can affect job satisfaction as well. Okay, just now I mentioned to you that if you are not happy with your job, okay, if we are dissatisfied, there are four things that we can do. Okay, here is the boleh nampak ke dia macam very blur. Okay, so we have I call it EVLN. Okay, EVLN model. So let's say if you are dissatisfied with the job, okay, or any employee is dissatisfied with his or her job, so they have four options whether to exit, voice, loyalty, or neglect. Okay, as you can see here, there are two characteristics, whether it's an active behavior ataupun active response, and whether it's a destructive or a constructive response. Okay, so if you are, let's say, we go for active and constructive first. Okay, so if an employee, if you think that you can voice it out, if you have dissatisfaction, then you can voice it out. You can tell, you can report it in a right medium. Okay, bukan voice ni bukan voice dekat social media, big no no. Voice to the right person, right channel, through the right channel, internally at first. Okay, and then if you want to take any action ke apa ke, then still you have to refer to the internal process first, and then only you can move further lah. So this one is an active and constructive behavior lah. You voice out because you feel dissatisfaction, and then you require like an improvement, or maybe at least like some changes in the company. Okay, and then another thing is if it's an active one, okay, it's a good one. It's an active means that you are doing something, but actually it's a destructive when you exit the company lah. Okay, destructive because you just leave, right? So the company wouldn't know that. That's why we have exit interview. But most of it, I'm not sure. Exit interview, you should be honest. Okay, you should be honest, and you are leaving the company as well. However, most of people, they don't become honest during exit interview because they afraid that when they want to get another job, we still need to use references. We still need to have a good rapport with our previous company, right? And then that's why during exit interview, people just touch on the surface only without actually telling what is there that they should be improved in. Okay, but some people, yes, they become honest. That one is constructive lah. But let's say if you are not honest and then you just exit without telling the company, it will be a destructive. Now, passive and also constructive. Okay, passive means that you are not doing anything about it. Okay, you just become loyal. You stay without saying anything. Maybe you have this normative commitment, sorry, continuance commitment. Because if you leave the company, you have to bear all the costs and so on. So you don't want that. So I just stay loyal, but for wrong reasons. Okay. Or maybe you feel like I will never, even though that my work here is the workload is very is a lot, but I like working environment here. I will never find colleagues as helpful as they are right now. Okay, you have a certain criteria lah for you to become loyal. It's a constructive one because you are doing your job. Okay, you nothing changed actually. It's a work jalan macam biasa. Okay, but it's just a passive way lah. And then lastly is this one, destructive and also passive. Stay in the company, at least for the loyal person, kerja jalan. But for this kind of person, when they become dissatisfied, they don't want to exit the company. They don't want to voice it out. And then instead of being loyal and feel good about the job, still doing the job, they neglect everything. All right. They are not being helpful. They refuse to have a good teamwork. They refuse to play their role as an employee. So this one definitely will be destructive for the company, and then it shows a very passive because you refuse to voice it out. Um, you refuse to discuss on how to improve the work environment. Okay.
Me.
Yeah. Yes.
Sini.
Ah.
Okay, salah tekan. Madam, question madam.
Ya. Tak nak meja-meja tu tak nak Jangan.
Hold on. Sekejap ya. Okay. Zulhilmi tadi siapa?
Boleh.
Ya, Zumi.
Okay.
Okay, for the last part tu, for the neglect punya job responses ni, what can the organisation do? Can they take a macam very immediate action ataupun they have to gradually take action to this kind of stuff? And then actually I nak tanya, when we taking this subject, we are sitting as a employer ke ataupun employee sebenarnya?
Okay. So question number one, for what company can do for these people ataupun these employees, you have to take back what are your objective lah ataupun aims. Whether you really want to retain this person. If you want to retain this person, then I think it's beneficial for you to send for training, maybe call them for call them for counseling and so on. But if you don't want to retain this person, so maybe you have to do other things. For example, like give warning letter, and then it might sound kejam, but it happened in out there, right? You give them probational again lah. Okay, probational period again. Okay, like you make them in PPP program so that they will know something that they have to work towards something to stay in the company. So it depends on the company whether to make a gradual action ke ataupun to do like an immediate action. It depends on the company. Both acceptable as long as you follow you punya company's policy and procedure. Okay, for the second question, whether this course is for employee and employer, my answer is both. All right, because here when you took actually, okay, from education purpose ataupun education perspective, when you take master, this one is for managerial level, to prepare you for managerial level, to think like a manager. So that one answers you should think like an employer. Okay, but now you are an employee as well. Okay, you are an employee, try to move to the managerial level, right? So before you can become, this is my opinion, before we can become a good manager, there are certain skills that we have to master, three major skills. So the reason why we learn all this, because we want to make sure that we know as an employee what we should do, so that when we become a manager, tak adalah we become a manager that tahu cakap saja but tak tahu buat. That's my opinion lah. This course is for both employee and employer. Yes, Atika?
Actually, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So we mentioned about this behavior, one of the staff. So I have my own personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there's a staff that actually in manager level,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing is they doesn't want to cooperate with other people, with other teams. So they make like, for example, like a very simple task that you need to work together.
Mm-hmm.
They make it like very complicated until your work is cancelled, something like that. You go what I mean?
Yeah.
So as a as a employee, right? As an employee, like a people work in organization, how can we tackle this kind of like how can we handle this stuff.
Okay, before that, may I know the culture of the organization, whether they promote like two-way communication or that's not the case?
So we are always what we call it, promoting the teamwork. We
Okay.
always with other team, like we work very well, but this particular team, the manager, the one who lead the team, is actually very troublesome. We facing the same problem over and over with other team, but I just wondering, we've been complaining about it, but there's nothing much the like all the top management can do about it
Mm-hmm.
as an employee. So how can we actually manage these kind of people? That's my question.
Okay. If you haven't raised anything yet, but you did already, right? So here, what I can say is that not only this managerial level employee is problematic, but also the top management refused to take any action. My advice is, okay, I am not qualified at the point. I just teach organizational behavior, but in my opinion, keep on sending reports, so that when when top management receive this kind of pressures, and then make sure when you send these complaints and report, you have proof, you have like a storytelling why you do all this kind of report, what kind of problem occurred because of this
Yeah.
policy and so.
So actually, what happened? Like in the top management, they aware that we have this clear communication with that particular team,
Mm-hmm.
and the one who actually refused to work together to make everything complicated is that
Mm-hmm.
one particular person. But the thing is, like one of the frequent answer that I receive, they mentioned that try to find the way to work together. So but the thing is very simple, like task that we have to get some like help from that team. They make it very complicated. By the end of the day, everybody say, you know what, just forget about it.
Okay.
So we are like facing this difficulty for like sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And manager is a new manager as well, we just hired, and they're not doing the good job. So that's why I'm wondering, with this cost, right, how can we learn how to handle this kind of behavior?
I
That's my
see.
question.
Okay. All right. uh what about, is there a lot of meetings, discussion with this team, with your team?
Yes. So I'm working with the international school. So
Mm-hmm.
the team that I mentioned just now, it is the campus services, basically the operational team. So when they are not functioning well, so other team is affected by this kind of like behavior. Thanks.
Regular meetings between you, both of the teams?
Yeah, we have so many team
So
in
what happened
organization.
during the meetings? Are they like actively voice out, or just like passively, when you raise something, they just listen, but they don't. Is there a lot of conflict?
No, it is a voice out things. That's
Ah,
why
okay.
things not happen. For example, you want to run this program,
Mm-hmm.
they will give, or we need to, I'm not familiar because she's a manager, so she say, I'm not familiar this process, maybe we can involve with the directors of finance, maybe we involve with directors of this one. They
Okay.
make everything like huge and very challenging for the people to get it done. So
Mm-hmm.
when we reporting to the same chief of marketing, I mean the marketing department, but
Mm-hmm.
the thing is when we complaining, they try to find everybody have their own behavior. Then this is what we learn, isn't it? We try
Yes,
to
yes.
find the way how we want to work together. The thing is, it's been going on for so long. So I just wondering if I can learn something how to handle this. They play victim. When we voice out,
Mm-hmm.
complaining about it, they
Mm-hmm.
say I'm too aggressive. But when I didn't do that, the
Okay.
work is not done. You go what I mean? So
Yes, yes.
I try to find the way with this course actually how to we can learn how to cope with this kind of like a organizational behavior. Maybe you
Mm-hmm.
can help me. Thanks.
Okay. It's okay. Try to uh try to complete this course first, and then because this is just a small part of it, like emotion, behavior, and then we are going to learn so much more later in group, team, and so on. So try to listen to throughout the courses, and then maybe we can do like personal coaching. So not really lah, okay.
Actually, this is not personal coaching. Let me.
Um,
So this is related that what you mentioned earlier.
mhm.
The one that you mentioned earlier, that you mentioned there's how I understand this course is actually to learn how to, like about the organizational behavior. My question is not personal coaching. It's related what you say just now. So if you have opinion, you can let me know. If not, I can just Google it out.
Okay, all right. Okay, like I've mentioned to you lah. Try to listen to all the course phrase, and then maybe you can find like here and there like a tweak somewhere, to handle conflict in the workplace, right? I'm not going to say that this person is problematic or not, but I think it's more like a conflict, like organizational conflict. We are going to learn about it later as well. Okay, treat her a great dinner, then start record a journal. Okay. Okay. All right. This one is the explanation for EVLN. Okay, let me see. All right. So we have finished chapter 3, right?